Welcome back to Timberborn and the Diorama Challenge. In the last episode, we managed to successfully raise the level of the river and use it as a reservoir. And now we've got kind of a new problem that I've just noticed as I got started, which is, we are growing carrots, potatoes, and we're foraging for berries. But we are eating all the potatoes that we grow and grill the moment they're available, which means we kind of aren't making enough. I think a beaver town is not making enough food unless they have too much food that they need to store. And right now, our carrot supplies are low. Our potatoes are being eaten right out of the gate, which I think means our food supply is probably dwindling over time. We have allowed this community to grow a little bit. We've got 4 active beaver baby tanks, and we've got room for 10 more beavers to settle here. So what I think we need to do is let's take advantage of the extra beavers. We've got a couple of extra beavers here who don't have jobs. So let's take advantage of that and expand our agriculture. So we're going to start there. Long term, we also would like to sort of expand our technology. But, start building some fancier factories that build fancier things. But I think that survival has always got to be the top priority. So first, let's make our agriculture work. So what I'm thinking we should do is, so this area, now that we've raised the level of the river, this area should be consistently pretty well watered, which makes it a good candidate for where we should put some food. These trees here don't need to be here. In fact, I think if we want trees, we should probably grow some more trees down in this area, because this area is only conditionally watered, and trees are actually really resilient to sort of losing water. Because this area here, this water doesn't stick around during droughts. So I guess, we could make this water stick around a little longer during droughts if we wanted to. All we need to do is put a dam over here, and this water would stick around a little bit. It's pretty shallow, so it might still go away, but yeah, so basically I'm thinking we can use this area to grow more trees, get the amount of wood coming in going up, and then use this area up here for growing more food. So step 1 of that is let's get some lumberjacks over here to knock down. How do I lumberjack? I don't play this game anymore. Let's get a lumberjack or 2 over here to knock down these trees. And these 2 lumberjacks over here, we don't need them full time. In fact, let's pause these lumberjacks down here. We might want them again eventually, especially once these little trees grow up. But we don't need them to do that job. We need to build these guys and get them doing that job. Now let's mark all of these trees to be chopped down. And while we're at it, actually, let's these birch trees. I originally placed them here because we had kind of a short-term tree emergency. We needed to be growing some trees that would mature more quickly, even if they wouldn't give us as much wood. Now that we're a little bit out of the woods on that, though not completely, we only have 19 logs in stock. But I'm betting that, as we start once we start, chopping these trees down, we'll have a nice little influx up front. I think that should give us some time to let these trees mature, chop them down, and then replace them with trees that are more productive. Oh, hey, good luck, La Coalition. La Coalition just showed up and said that he's had this event that he's been planning on his DayZ server for a while that involves mummies, and that he's actually gonna make it happen soon. Well, I'm excited for that. Good luck. All right, let's speed up our beavers. So they're still building water storage over here from the last episode, but they're almost done with that. And yeah, let's keep an eye on our food. So it does look like maybe our food is no. Okay, does it get down below 200? Yes. Okay, it got down below 200, significantly so. So yeah, it was 200 the first morning we started. Now it's at 180. We're gonna start running out of food. So now, if things get really bad and we start dipping into the berries, I can put some gatherers over here to gather these berries. So we're not completely screwed, but we're going to need to start solving this problem real fast. So, yeah. So I'm not going to let's see. We've got 1 extra beaver. I could turn this on again just to get them chopping down these trees as they pop up. So we can replace all of these. Actually, you know what we should... At some point, we're going to want to have another forester down here to be planting trees down here. So we can probably afford to build that. Where should I build that? You know, because again, arable land is so precious on this map. I'm actually thinking maybe what I should do is unpause this one, destroy this one, and then this will look a little awkward at first. But I'm thinking maybe I should build my forester out over the water. Like, stick it right there. That's not what I wanted. Stick it right there. And then plant a bunch of trees. In fact, now should I go all maple down here? Because eventually maples are like the best, most productive trees. It just takes a long time to get them to the point where they're productive. There's a long sort of waiting period while a maple matures enough. And I'm not sure that's what we want. And another thing is, you know, being able to use chestnuts as a food source is also kind of valuable. So, well, I could do chestnuts somewhere else, though. Let's plant a bunch of maples down here. So I assume this guy can reach this entire area, and this guy can reach this entire area. So yeah, we'll start with some maples. This little birch tree needs to get out of the way. 73% grown. How are we doing? Okay, we are chopping down these maples like a storm. We've got tons of logs building up. And so now I'm thinking, see, let's make sure our lumber mill's working. Yeah, our lumber mill's working. We're getting boards, but we're using boards about as fast as we're getting them. It might behoove me to try to expand the rate at which we're making boards, because I need to build some, like, bridges and stuff. So let's, okay, let's have a look at this. So the gear workshop, what does that get me? Actually, what's my next level of food? It's probably the grist mill, which requires gears. So what I'm thinking, maybe it wouldn't be crazy for me to start, you know, thinking about my first gear workshop. Let's build, for now, let's build another lumber mill. We'll try to line these things up so they look all pleasing together. This may not be a permanent arrangement, though. I think because this is taking up some real estate. And I'm not sure I actually want this here long term. But having two lumber mills generating planks together isn't a bad idea. Look, we're down to 105 carrots now. So I'm thinking we need to get started on our agriculture. So let's build an extra bridge across here, which is not absolutely necessary, but I think it'll make things run a little smoother. So we'll connect it up like that. But then what we need is a farmhouse that doesn't take up a lot of space. So again, this is why I'm building these lumber mills, because I'd like to build as much as I can over the water so that it's not taking up arable land. So, for instance, we can have a new farmhouse here that can reach this entire lower area, and whoever ends up working here, and let's prioritize this so they build it faster. Whoever ends up working here will want to have some fields. So let's put some fields. We want to grow more potatoes. We'll put those nearest the coast because that's where they're going to get the most water. But we will also want more carrots. So put those in the back. And we'll just kind of arbitrarily place them for now. Can't even use them yet. We'll arbitrarily place them for now. Oh, but there's other places where I have actually, we can grow a little bit more of this stuff. Because, oh wait, no, hold on. Wait, pause. I don't actually want carrots here. If I want to make it beautiful and pleasing, I want to put potatoes here because it'll line up with these other potatoes. As a general rule, bushes are less valuable and productive, and I do have more bushes over here. So I think I might actually kill some more bushes. Again, I can't kill all the bushes because we need berries. These beavers need berries to breed. But if I just kill a few bushes we don't need, I can replace them with carrots, which are going to be better, more productive food. And more happifying food. So Lycolis said I should avoid using the word real estate, or I'm going to set him off on an economic rant. For those of you who don't know Lycolis, he's a student of economics and has a lot to say about it. So yeah, I will spare you that. What the heck am I looking for? I'm looking for carrots. Okay, so we can grow more carrots here. So I'm trying to expand like what I can do with my existing farmhouse, which yes, can reach this entire space. Ooh, it can reach up here. Huh. I can grow some like sunflowers or something up here. I'm just gonna grow a handful of sunflowers up here for no good reason, just because it'll look pretty. And I'll need a place to store the sunflowers. I guess we've got kind of some useless space along here. I could totally just put random little storage along there. So yeah, let's stick a place here where I can store some sunflower seeds. Okay, so it looks like we've got a lot of harvestable food here, but maybe what we're missing is enough beavers to harvest it. So we've got this farmhouse now, which can also reach the regular farmland. That's good. Okay, good. So now we have 4 beavers working full-time on food production rather than just the 2, which should start making a difference fairly soon. How long is it going to take these maple trees to grow? A couple of weeks. Okay, I guess we'll leave them here because they are really valuable, but... Oh, good. We've chopped down nearly all these birch trees. So once... Actually, we can just get started right now planting maple trees here. Any place that's got any green. I think the places that are a little bit less green will grow the trees more slowly, but I think they'll still grow the trees. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure they will plant the trees. The trees will grow. I think they just might not grow as fast if they're not on land that says green. Okay, so again, let's place some more potatoes. Let's place some more carrots. How far does this thing reach? It reaches all the way over here. All right, well, that's where more carrots will go. So unfortunately, it takes, how long does it take carrots to grow? 4 days? So when you plant carrots, you're solving a problem for 4 days from now, not an immediate problem. Yeah, so we've got these bored gatherers who are getting less bored because now that we're running out of carrots, more beavers are eating berries, which means that actually I also need to probably start harvesting these berries too if we're going to stay ahead of our hungry beavers. So let's do that, and we will... Actually, I don't know why I just did that. Let's get rid of this path here, and then build another gatherer down here so that we're gathering these guys. Oh, but it looks like we got 4 jobs that aren't being done. So let's definitely make sure that let's make sure that all of our food production has maximum priority. We can let other jobs not happen, but food production absolutely needs to be high priority. So that was part of our problem, is we didn't have beavers working in some of these places. So hopefully what I just did will make a difference. Oh, we're out of space to store logs. We've actually gathered so many logs. We don't know what to do with ourselves. So that's why we're not chopping down these maples over here. Well, I can probably solve that because these guys have stackable log storage. So I do like the fact that this is definitely showing. So which side is going to be easier to get stairs up to? I think probably the back. We are definitely showing that these that our wood infrastructure is actually really, really good. Oh, hey, we just survived a drought without even noticing. Our wood infrastructure is really, really good because we went over the course of just this session so far. We've only been playing for like 15 minutes. Our beavers have gone from having no wood in the bank to having too much wood in the bank. So my question is, do I want to try to build... I think for right here, I think I'll probably just build a staircase straight up into that. And then for the next layer up, I'll try to figure out an elaborate staircase. But for that one, I think I'm just going to keep that one simple. All right. So let's keep these guys going. We're living on mostly berries now. So we need to basically keep expanding our agriculture until we can see... until we can see our larders filling, until we can see, the storage amount getting bigger each day instead of getting smaller each day. Oh, it looks like we're harvesting a bunch of dandelions, too. Actually, have we harvested dandelions before? I don't think so. I don't think I've got any, storage set aside for holding onto dandelions. Well, let's fix that. Here's dandelions. Okay, looks like we planted all of these guys. Oh, and we're starting to chop down some of these trees, too. I can start filling in some of these blanks. Like that one. And... Alright, so how is our population going? We've got 4 baby beavers who are going to grow up and take these 4 extra jobs that we have that aren't being filled. But we'll also probably lose some beavers at the same time. So we definitely, I think we definitely want to keep our beavers, our beaver population growing right now. Because we got more for them to do than we have beavers to do those jobs. And it looks like, are we staying on top of our harvestable stuff? It looks like we've got, so there's 2 things that can cause your fields to just be full of ripe stuff that you're not picking. One is you don't have enough beavers doing the work, and so that can mean that you need to build more farmhouses or bring more beavers into those farmhouses to stay on top of the harvestables. The other explanation is you're out of space for storing the stuff, which means you've got enough beavers, but they've got nowhere to put it, so they just leave it out on the ground. We are not in the latter situation. The way you can tell is you look up at the storage here. You can see we've got a few carrots in storage right now, but a lot of space to keep filling it. So storage is not our problem. And we've got no potatoes right now. So storage is not our problem. Our problem is the reason why we've got a bunch of harvestables hanging out here is because we don't have quite enough beavers to grab them all. Now, this might be a tolerable amount. Let's look over the course of this day. Let's see if we end up with more harvestables at the end of the day or fewer. If we end up with fewer, then we've got enough beavers. But if we end up with more, then we might be falling behind the curve, and it might make sense for us to add one more farmhouse. Now, we planted all of these carrots at around the same time, so it kind of makes sense that right now we might get outpaced by the carrots. Over time, beavers, because the beavers can only harvest a certain number per day, over time you end up with sort of a rolling life cycle of your crops, where basically as they get harvested and replanted one row at a time, eventually they just get into this cycle where one row matures, or one little patch matures, gets harvested, gets replaced, another patch matures right afterwards, gets harvested and gets replaced, and you end up with beavers who kind of work year round, just work every single day, sort of replacing a small subset of their crops. But when you first plant a field, you plant it all at the same time, and so you end up sort of with just a whole bunch of harvestables you can't stay on top of. So I think, so I notice they're not harvesting these potatoes hardly at all because they're trying to stay on top of these carrots. So I think we might actually, it might make sense for us to add one more farmhouse. Now that might pull away from other beavery jobs that need to be done. But I think we can maybe strategize around that a little bit. So let's pick the right spot to stick a third farmhouse on. I'm thinking maybe right. That's a good spot to put a. Yeah, I don't want to put them on this side because this is where it's 2 tiles deep, and that means that's a good spot to stick water pumps so they won't dry out when the food dries out. So I'm thinking maybe we should stick it right here. Though, actually, oh wait, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that yet, because maybe the reason these aren't getting harvested is because these are only in reach of this spot. And then, oh wait, oh, here's another one. Oh, this is our problem. I forgot I'd built this farmhouse. This farmhouse is part of our problem because it doesn't have any beavers in it. It's also taking up some valuable arable land, though. So maybe what I should do is... Yeah, I should just demolish this, build another farmhouse in a position that's better able to service that area. And that doesn't take up this kind of space. So yeah, so here's what we should do. We should build a farmhouse here, on top of the old underwater dam. And, yeah, let's place it so that it can reach these fields, because this one can't reach them. That's why this is happening, because this farmhouse can barely reach them. They're the furthest away. This one can't reach them at all, so they're just not getting harvested. And this one doesn't have any employees in it. So we'll kill this one. Won't make a difference because there's no employees anyway. We'll make sure that this one is high priority once it gets built. And then we'll use this space here for more. Oh, it looks like we've also chopped down a couple of trees here. So while we're at it, we'll mapleify these 2 slots. And we'll keep going. Okay, it looks like our forester here. Okay, this guy does not need to be working anymore. Let's pause him, because none of these trees have grown yet. Let's grow some more maples here. And now, okay, good. We've got the exact same number of worker beavers as we've got beaver jobs. That's going to change once this thing grows, but we've still got 4 baby beavers who are working on maturing. The tank asks, would you say you cut your teeth in Timberborn? Yeah, actually, I think in my most recent sort of stint of playing this game, I think that was actually the title of my first video, that I cut my teeth on this game. Because the main reason I said that was because I actually learned about the teeth sharpening wheels for the first time, which I think were added since the last, major time I was playing this game. So, okay, I'm going to add more potatoes here, more carrots here. Eventually, we might need to actually use this staircase and cut a swath through here to reach it, but I don't think that's necessary quite yet. Let's pause. Actually, let's destroy one of these lumberjacks. Add more carrots here, because we don't need 2 lumberjacks to keep track of these straggling trees. Did I fail to mark this one as choppable or something? What's going on here? I did fail to mark that one as choppable. Okay, yeah, so... Oh, wait, wait a minute. What? Okay, I didn't mean to grow chestnut trees. I meant to grow maple trees. Whatever, it's fine. We'll do chestnut trees. It's okay. I'll worry about that later. The tank says, oh, your levy is looking damn good. Haha, making a damn pun. Okay, so... You can see our food amount is growing. Look, I've actually got grilled potatoes that are making it through the night. That is the first time we've had grilled potatoes make it through the night. That means we are growing and harvesting enough potatoes to actually stay ahead of the beaver's potato eating habits. I'm actually not sure. I think that I'd rather have this spot here actually growing potatoes. So so if you remove the farmland, what that does is it leaves the plant there, and they will still harvest the plant when it grows, but they won't replant it automatically. So I'm gonna let them grow and harvest these carrots. But once those carrots are grown and harvested, I'm going to replace them with potatoes. So okay, Look, so yeah, look at this. We're filling our larder with carrots and potatoes. Then they come home in the evening. They eat like crazy. Let's see how many we have left when we're done with that process. Ooh, are we going to have double digits of potatoes? We had single-digit potatoes last time. Now we get double-digit potatoes, plus a bunch of carrots. I think we might have gotten ahead of the curve. I think we might have actually... We might be growing enough food now to actually feed this population. In the meantime, we have more babies than ever, so we're going to need to keep staying ahead of the population. At some point, we're going to have to try to slow down our growth, though, because It's not like we've got a lot of extra room to grow food here. But in a perfect world, what we'll see is these berries starting to come back because we don't need them as much anymore. In fact, let's pause one of these guys. Okay, we do have some extra beavers. Okay. So, what does that mean? That means that we can start growing, we got some unemployed beavers, it means we can start growing our industry a little more. Like, for instance, building a thing to manufacture gears with. So basically, so the first sort of like special item that you learn to make out of a basic resource is a plank. You make planks out of logs. But then the next one up the tier is gears, and you make gears out of planks. So you need to have enough of a supply of planks going, which we kind of do. We could probably afford to store some more planks, but for right now we're good. And so, in fact, I'm wondering if maybe, oh wow, we've already filled our logs even more. Okay, we definitely need to get our gear and plank industry up and running. Because I think these two they're not actually making very many planks because we're tapping out our sort of storage space for planks. So what does that mean? I think what that means is we need to build a gear workshop. So let's unlock the gear workshop with science points, and then let's figure out where it lives. So eventually, okay, let's look at power real quick. So this group does not have access to windmills. That's something that the folktales have, and I built my entire last city out of windmills. These guys, they basically rely on beaver. They can use water wheels, but we don't. Our water is not flowing a lot. Like we've got, I mean, our water does flow through here during the wet season, but during the dry season, it dies. And I don't want to depend on it. And also, all of our arable land is clustered around it, so it's questionable whether or not I should rely on water power. Of course, you can make an argument that, like, something like gears, where you can build up a nice store of them and then you don't use them that often. You don't really consume gears in any of your operations. Gears are used to construct things and only to construct things. And so you don't need them all the time the way you need food. So I could see us building a water wheel to make gears. Now, what does a water wheel take to build it? A compact water wheel only takes logs. A fancy one, okay, neither of them takes gears. So we don't need gears already when we build a water wheel. So I actually am kind of thinking maybe that's what we should do. We do have all this space up here where we could build up our industry, but it's expensive to try to fuel our industry with these little hamster wheels because, like, while the lumbering mill only needs 50 horsepower, the gear workshop needs 120. That's three of these guys running in these wheels if we wanted to operate at maximum efficiency. Whereas water wheels, okay, so these ones produce 40 horsepower per something? Is that per water flow? Like, I'm actually not sure what to expect from a water wheel like this. Does that mean it only provides 40? Or does it provide 40 multiplied by some value, like having to do with the flow of the water? That I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm gonna dignify your Leave It to Beaver references. Those are very old school though, and I respect it. Okay, so we've got a new problem to solve, which is how exactly do we want to build our industrial infrastructure? Do we want to build it up here and just rely on manual beaver labor for everything? Or do we want to build it here, go cheaper on labor, and instead just rely on water pressure to do what we need? But I think that's probably a good question for our next episode. So this episode, we've accomplished something. We have gone across the river and basically more than doubled our farmland, which is getting us well above the curve. We're back up to 200 carrots, which is where we were before we started dropping. We're still eating all of our potatoes, so I think we haven't hit a good cadence with the potatoes yet. And we don't have a lot of stored up raw potatoes, which means our capacity problem isn't a cooking problem; it's a growing problem. So we'll still want to keep thinking about how we can expand our potatoes. Over here, though, once we harvest these carrots, that should give us the ability to sort of like to plant a few more potatoes, and maybe that'll help. I don't know. Anyway, but we've largely gotten on top of the emergency that was brewing. You've seen this in my episodes before, that there are plenty of times where I have thought, oh yeah, I've got that this agriculture problem solved, so I'm going to plow forward, keep expanding my community, build it bigger, and then they start starving, and I have a panic attack. So this time, I'm kind of proud of the fact that I saw that coming. I saw the amount of food we had starting to plummet, and we got ahead of it. Looking at my screen right now, we do have fewer carrots by a small margin today than we had yesterday, so we might still actually be a little bit on the bubble. We might have to keep trying to expand our agriculture. So we'll keep that in mind, but I think the focus of our next episode is going to be trying to build up our industry. So, with that, let's wrap this up. Put the crap on the screen we always put on the screen, and if you want to see the next episode, which we're going to make right now, live on Twitch, go click on that.